Hi, fam. Hello, hello. Hi, Fox Legend. How are you? So today's green screen is acting up. I'm seeing, which way is this one? That one. Hi, Fox Legend. Wait, phone. Let me put my phone on silent. Hi, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well wherever you are. Good morning. Hi, Zurai. Hi, Alja. Hi, Kagoma. We're just waiting for our guest to join, but until then, we can just catch up. How has your week been? How are you? Let me see. Hi, Monty. Hi, Moteb. Good morning. Hi, Nicholas and Boniface. Your name? Nini. Thank you, Nini. Shalom, Hebrew. So our guest will join soon, okay? As you saw on the thumbnail today, we have a guest. Last week, we said we're going to try this new thing where we invite people and we discuss about a certain topic. And then, so this week is going to be Sicily, and we are going to talk about her experience in Egypt, moving from the US. So I am just waiting on her to click on the link I have shared with her. And then we'll talk. Hi, Keisha. We are good early. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well as well. Okay, it's evening where you are. Same here. Same. Hey, we have someone from Zambia. South Carolina. Hi, Michael. Hello, Mr. Seed. Is that how you say it? I see Cecily's trying to join. Let me see. Let's see how we can get her on here. We talk, and then make sure to ask the questions you would like to ask her in the comment section. And then we can also try to, like, at the end, what I'll try to do is like have a Q&A, just a short one, because it's going to be here. We're going to be here for an hour. We're just going to have a Q&A at the end for like 10 minutes, okay? So let us add Sicily.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? Can you hear us and see us okay?
Yeah, can you hear me and see me okay?
I can, but we can ask our audience
Okay.
if they can you hear Cecily? And by the way, am I saying your name right?
Oh,
Correctly?
beautiful. Beautiful
Okay,
one.
good.
I hope I'm
Good.
saying your name right, one girl.
Let's see. Let's see. Say it. Let's hear it.
One girl.
Good job. Most people don't get it, but you
Like my
really.
name too. Nobody, my name gets called Cecily and Sicily and all kinds of things.
Oh, okay, so you understand.
Oh, yes,
Okay,
one
good.
girl, yes. Even your
Good.
last
So,
name,
yeah,
Zalalam.
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 Yes, it
See?
means forever. Good job.
Forever, one
It
girl,
means
yes.
forever.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. They're telling us they can hear us and they can see us
Great.
clearly, which is great.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And thank you, Cicely, for coming
Sure, my
and,
pleasure.
wanting to share with us your experience and what it has been like. Are you in Egypt right now?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been there for?
Actually, it's February was a year, but I've been in and out.
Okay,
Hmm.
okay,
Yes.
good. So first, I would like for you to tell us about yourself,
Hmm.
and and then we're gonna start like our discussion. First, we need to know who Sicily is.
Sure, you can know who Sicily is.
Yes,
So first
please.
of all, Sicily was born in the UK. So that's where I
Oh,
was born. Yes, I was born
okay.
and raised in the UK. And then my mother decided that she wanted to go to the United States. So she went first, then my dad followed. And I know some of these, including your own channel, talk about how it's not easy to go to Europe and the West, America. It's not easy. So my mother went first, and then my dad followed. They wouldn't let me go because they thought I was going to stay. But eventually I was allowed to go. I got a visa and I was allowed to go. And my mother sponsored me to go, and I was able to go and stay. So I lived in the United States for a very long time. So I've been many careers. I've been an educator, a lifelong educator, and I teach children from birth to adults, and I treat, educate adults. So, and also I have my degree in psychology, industrial organization psychology, and also early childhood education. I've got a degree in metaphysics. Um, so yes, I'm into energy and spirituality. Can you see that spiritual look? And so I'm very into that. And I've been practicing something called Raj Yoga meditation. And that's been for about 9 years. And that comes out of India. So I've been to India about 6 times, actually. I go every year outside of the 3 years that we wasn't able to sort of travel. But I've been there last year, and this year I was in India, but I go every year. And they have a spiritual university there that I attend. And so that has been really my guiding light as it relates to the life that I live. And basically, what they do is they teach you how to have a relationship with Allah, to have a relationship with God, Baba. I like to call Baba, it's very endearing, father. So that's what it does. So it's not anything like a religion where it's very like you listen to the preacher and you have to go by what they say, even though there's a book and the book is there for you to read and understand for yourself. But a religion, a church per se, is basically how one is taught in a church or something. But with Islam, I find that I see here in Egypt, they read the Quran. And I see the children going with their book to their lessons. And sometimes we pick them up and we take them to go to class and stuff. And it's just really very lovely, all the different religions. So what I like about Raj Yoga meditation is that we accept everything. When we say we don't practice everything, but we accept that each one has its place in the world, in life. So we don't discriminate, say you're Christian, you're this, you're that. No, everything has its place on this planet, on this earth, and us as human beings, we're entitled to choose where we need to be because instinctively we know where we should be. So now I've become this content creator. I just started a
Oh,
YouTube channel. Yes, this year
okay.
people have been asking me for years. They wanted me to. Well, let me step back. I was a TV host in the United States. So
Really
yeah, and it got shut down in January 2020. The TV studio, but it was quite successful channel. In the first less than 1 year, I got best TV host, TV new series, best right.
interesting.
So
What channel was it on?
it was in the channel in the United States.
Okay.
Right. So it was called LMC TV. So it was
Okay.
Larchmont Mamaroneck TV, but
Mhm.
I had also put it on YouTube, but I didn't know anything about YouTube back then, so I really didn't advertise it as the way it should be. So it was very sort of not much going on. But the the TV show. The reason I got the award was that I got a lot of views, and everybody wanted to sort of work with the channel and stuff like that. So that's how they pick who gets chosen. So yeah, so a TV channel. So now I'm doing my YouTube channel, which is called Sicily Soul Sojourn, and it's
Okay.
basically the journey of the soul. Yes,
We'll share your link. Like, is your phone with you? So if you can text it here,
yes, I
in
can do
the
that. Yes,
in the
yeah,
chat, just write it
I'll do
for
it in the
people.
chat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. You
Yes.
can
Yeah,
continue.
so Sicily Soul Sojourn, and it's just because, interestingly enough, in here in Egypt, a lot of the people that I connect with, they talk to me about meditation, which I do, of course, and they talk about the soul and energy, and they'll look at me and say, "Do you meditate? Do you like me?" I say, "How do you know?" And they'll say, "We pick up on your energy." So that's sort of really in line with what I do. So it's really a good fit for me here in Egypt.
Okay, so when you do meditate, you said you accept everything. It's not like you don't judge. It's everybody has their own place and stuff. So how does that work? Like what do you like what do you follow? Who's, let's say, who's your God? I don't know.
My God is your God, and my God is your God.
Okay, okay. No,
So,
I
right,
wanted
so
to
there's
understand
only
a little
one,
bit. I'm sorry.
right? So Allah is God, Baba
Yes.
is God, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay. So you
a
do
Buddhist,
believe in God.
absolutely
So
100%.
when you
Remember, I said
meditate,
that, yes, it's
okay.
connecting with God. So that's what I
Mm-hmm.
do, connect with God. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what Raj Yoga meditation. See, Raj means king, and yoga
Okay.
means union. So it's a royal union with God, is what they teach us. Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So you said you're a teacher. So you teach meditation right
I do
now?
teach
What do you?
meditation as well. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. And okay, so now that you've told us about yourself and how you got to this point, I thought you were actually a Black American. So you are from the UK but lived in the US, now moved to Egypt, right?
It's
Right, I
me.
got that. Okay. So
Yes.
um other than Egypt, did you
Can
visit
I
any
just
other
talk on
African?
that one, girl? Because
Okay,
now, let me tell you about that. I
tell me.
was born in the UK, moved to the US. So now when I go to the US, when I go to the UK, people say, "Oh, this is my friend or my cousin from America." So when I go to India, they say now when I go to India or anywhere else, they say, "Oh, this is our sister or our friend from Egypt." Now I'm from Egypt. So wherever, so you got it right, one girl, because
Okay,
people, it
okay.
doesn't matter. I'm from all over the place. It's okay.
Okay, good, good.
Yes. So,
Okay, somebody said you mean African American. The reason why I said Black American is sometimes some people, I found out that they get a little bit offended because they don't identify with the African
right.
ancestry. So that's why
Mm.
I specified that Red Sea Youth.
Is that why people are
So
saying Black American now, one girl? I've seen that. That's the new
yeah,
thing, that they're
yeah,
saying Black
yeah,
American. Because,
yeah.
it's interesting. I never said that. I don't like labels. I'll start off by saying it's a lie of labels, one girl. And I
Mm,
never liked the thing African American. It's like, why all these identifications? I never grew up with so many identifications. I was just British. That was it. I wasn't anything else but British. But once I got to America, I needed to squeeze into a box, which was very unusual for me.
yeah. Yeah. And Thai 313 is saying only some don't. And yeah, I say everyone. I'm sorry if I said everyone. There are
No, you
some
said some
people.
don't. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some people. I've noticed they have an issue with that. So for me it's about inclusivity. So I wouldn't want to, you know, make you feel some type of way if that's not my intention. Like if you want me to say black, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I other than Egypt, was there any other African country you visited?
Yeah, so actually in 2021, like most, they say we got that calling, right?
Mm,
So I got that calling myself because I never ever wanted to step on the African continent. Never thought I would. One girl, why? Because as all of you YouTubers speak about the narrative. So the
mm,
narrative was, in fact, I saw a little YouTube video earlier, and they were saying that this person died from malaria in Africa. But was it just, you see, this is the narrative
yeah,
they like to paint to scare.
yeah,
So I never wanted to go because I thought I was going to get malaria and die and all this stuff. You know how it goes. But anyway,
yeah,
my first country I went to was Ghana.
yeah.
So I was there for 9 months in Ghana, and I was setting myself up. I was going to live in Ghana. I have a place there in Ghana, so I was going to stay there. But then
Okay.
it was my birthday in February 2022, And I said, you know what, I'm going to Egypt, because I got that call both for Ghana and Egypt. And so then I came, and once I got here, I said, well, this is it. This is where I need to be. And so I decided to set up shop here, to stay here, you know, quote unquote, set up shop, stay here. So that's where I've been. So I've been in and out. But this is a great place for me to be, Wongel. I'm really enjoying it very, very much. And I have never received so much love and support in my entire life until now.
That's really interesting, because it's good that you brought that up. You are in Cairo?
No, I'm actually in Luxor.
Okay, is it in the south?
Luxor, good question, Wongel. I'm not sure if it's in the south, but it's like, you know, Aswan, you go up past Aswan, you're going a little further up. So that's where it is. Yeah, I'm not sure where it's south. I'm not into the southeast thing. I'm not sure.
Okay, okay, because I read somewhere that in the south is where most of the Black Egyptians reside and their
Oh, okay.
tribes. So I was wondering if that's where
Oh,
you're staying. Okay.
no.
Okay, okay. So, as I mentioned to you last time, there was a TikTok video I found of it, of an Egyptian lady talking about her experience, and I
Yeah,
actually want to open it now so we can all watch, and I want to get your thoughts on that as well,
sure.
and then
Yes,
we go in depth when it comes to your own experience, right?
yes.
Yeah. So, so fam, I am going to um did you oh my god, some comments are, yeah, by the way, you don't have to read all the comments. Let me you tell me. Yeah, sometimes they crack you up and sometimes they, okay.
They're
uh
interesting. I know.
yeah. Let me open, tell me, okay, if you can hear it and you see it. Okay, you tell me, because I'm gonna share my screen just now. um and then I want you to watch a video with me. Okay, can you see my page right now?
It's coming. Yeah, now we see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Recently, there has
Can you
been
hear me?
a lot of conversation when it comes to Egyptians, specifically Black Egyptians, even when it comes to ancient
Yeah.
Egyptians like Cleopatra and the pharaohs, like what did they look like? Were they Nubian? What was the culture like? We have talked about it all. I recently came across a Black Egyptian and a proud Egyptian, I might add. Her name is Ranim, and she has a jewelry line named Cairo, and she advocates for her people. She makes jewelry. She seems very proud about her culture. But unfortunately, Egyptians are telling her that she's not Egyptian because she's Black. Let me show you this clip. We'll come back and discuss.
Hey guys, so I've been running my Egyptian jewelry brand for about 3 years now, and if you've been following me on TikTok, you know that every time a TikTok goes viral where I mention that I'm Egyptian, I get a lot of hate. And it's I don't know, I'm laughing, it's not funny, it's serious. Yeah, I get a lot of hate, and it is from Egyptians telling me I'm not Egyptian, which is fun. It's what everyone wants to hear. In the beginning, I used to get really upset. I didn't even know that we had a slur for Black people in Egypt before I started TikTok. Like, I lived such a naive life. I remember the first time somebody used the slur on me, I literally went to my mom and I thought they were calling me like zesty, like exotic. And I went to her and I was like, what does this mean? And she was like, oh. I was like, oh. The reason I do reply to these videos now is not to say I'm upset. And it's not out of anger or like being hurt or anything like that. It's more so that we can keep this conversation in the spotlight to show people that, yeah, racism is bad in Egypt. Like, it's really bad. Like, it's awful. Something I want to make very clear. One, not all Egyptians are racist, so don't come in the comments being like, Egyptians are the worst, blah, 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 because no. So this is the thing. The racism I get is from Egyptians back home, not in the diaspora. But the Egyptians back home are well aware that Black Egyptians exist. They know about Nubians. They know about Aswan. Like, they know that darker-skinned Egyptians are around, more so than Egyptians in the diaspora. But the thing is, we are not represented. They're used to seeing white Egyptians represent them, even on TikTok. And I had not seen Egyptians that look like me with a platform on TikTok. So when they see a dark-skinned Egyptian being successful and claiming to be Egyptian, no way. the audacity of this girl to try and claim that she's Egyptian, because we don't let people like you succeed. One time, somebody tried to apologize for the racism I experienced in Egypt by saying, but I mean, don't be upset about the racism. It's just because they don't expect Nubians to do well. Like, are we sure that's how we would apologize? So I'm just hoping by me continually bringing these videos to the spotlight, maybe other people can start talking about racism too that it is in Egypt, because I know that every single Egyptian is aware of the racism in Egypt. Not one Egyptian can come and tell me that there isn't racism in Egypt and it's not a huge problem, because they would be lying. For Ramadan? But yeah, so I'm going to keep making these videos just to make sure that this conversation doesn't stop and that it is something that we can work towards solving.
As you heard, Ranim.
Okay, let me turn it off. 1 second. Okay, are we back? We're back, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I saw this video, obviously, and I haven't been to Egypt, so I can't speak for that. That's why I was gonna base it on somebody else's experience versus yours, and we try and see how it is, right? And I want to hear your thoughts first, and then we can move on.
Yeah. I actually did see it because I'm one of your subscribers, one girl. So
Oh, okay. Then the community that haven't watched it can watch it. I'm glad they watched it. Okay.
I always prepare myself for whatever I'm about to embark on. But anyway, I'm one of your subscribers, so I watched it. And what I liked about she said it's not that I'm saying all Egyptians are racist. She's saying it's just a conversation that needs to be had. And that's what I would say about the video. It's a conversation because you're always going to get wherever you are. Like when I was in America, some people will say, like one time I was in politics when I was in America. And I was in politics. And somebody said, oh, because I was very involved and I was actually a leader of one of the parties there in America. And someone said, oh, not her. Someone who looked like me said, oh, not her. She's not African American. And then you see what I'm saying? So wherever you are, you're going to experience that. So I was snubbed saying I was not African American. So what am I? I'm not African American. I'm not British. Some people might say I'm not British. I'm not Barbadian by birth. That's where my parents were from. So it's like, where? So I just don't get caught up in this, where are you from? You're not this, you're not that. And then I heard something recently about foundational Black Americans. That's a whole nother thing that I've heard about too. So I'm not a foundational Black American. So it's like, I choose not to put myself in any of those categories. I just, wherever I am, that's what I'm doing. I live by their standards, I live by their rules, and that's all there is to it, one gal. But I like that she said that. That was a very key point. Let's have a conversation about it, because if someone says something like that, I make sure I would check them. I'm not going to let that go just because I'm having a great experience here in Egypt and I hear someone, I'll say, what do you mean? Why would you say something like, because sometimes all it is a lack of education. It really is a lack of education and lack of exposure why people say these things.
Yeah. Okay. So Ty is asking, what was your, I guess, like politics? That's
another. We're not going to talk.
You don't want to get into it. Feel free, by the way, not to answer. We can't be all in your business. You just tell us.
Right. Yeah, let's not talk about that. I'm so distant away from that now. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fair enough.
I do like the job. I do want to say before I love the job you're all doing on the African American Diaspora channel. Excellent. Did I say that right? No, I didn't say that right. The African Diaspora
African Diaspora News channel. Right.
Excellent job you all do there. Really, I watch it all the time. And it's very good. No, I support it. You're very educational. You open up people's eyes and you educate them on the issues and the importance. I've learned so much from the channel. I've been watching it since 2020.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And the beauty about African Diaspora News channel is it brings people from all over the world. Like, I love that. It's like we're all working in unity, and that's what we're preaching. So we're actually also doing it. So it's just, I love working for African Diaspora.
Yeah, you can see that.
Yes. We have another super chat. Thank you so much, Mo Wims. Oh, somebody said, finding Ian said, this life is so educational and I love it.
It's
Thank
very
you.
much
Thank you
so
for,
finding Ian. Very
yeah,
good statement.
of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and people are also saying like the black girl she's the real Egyptian, she's Nubian. Like even I remember in the last video I just showed you guys, after I
Yeah,
did I posted, people were saying, why are you calling her a black Egyptian? She is Egyptian. Like they're like,
right. I saw
they're
that.
like, that's her. And I'm
Yeah,
like, I get it, I understand, but sometimes when you're trying to tell a story, you need to be descriptive so people can
absolutely.
understand. If I don't, it's relevant. Her color is relevant in the story that we're talking about because that's what she's saying, because
Yeah.
that's why she has been treated badly and she's not seen as
Mm-hmm.
Egyptian and all
Now I
that
saw,
stuff.
right, I saw someone said, oh, they'd love to come to, please come to Egypt. I saw someone in the chat, I glanced at it. Someone said they'd love to come. You are welcome here
Well,
anytime. It's way up now. I wouldn't even try to find it. You're welcome to come and visit anytime. We are here for you.
yeah,
I have connected with some great people here in Egypt. They absolutely love me. They call me
yeah,
Sister Sicily.
yeah.
And I'm really, if I go anywhere, I tell you, I might go away for a week or a month or whatever. When I come back, they say, welcome back. It's like, I'm like, really, welcome back. I remember the first time I got welcome back, I was like, wow. I've never ever had that one, girl. Never.
Wow. Like this
Yes.
is such a contrast, right? Like you see, like your experience versus, let's say, this girl's experience is different. Why do you
Right.
think that is? Why is it different in your opinion?
It's really, let me say this, it's all about the energy in which we go into a place. So I almost didn't come to Egypt because I heard that narrative that Egyptians don't like blacks and they're very racist and they're this and that. And I almost didn't come to this country like I almost didn't go to America. Same because of the narrative. So I think that sometimes we go with this preconceived perception about a place, and we go and take that energy with us, and that's what we'll experience. So even though I came with that energy, I still didn't stay in that energy. It's like I just kept it there. And of course, once I saw the people for who they are, they're just, I don't know, because sometimes too we misunderstand. Like they do stare, but why they're staring, I found out why they're staring. They're staring because they like my black skin. They actually like my black skin. That's why they're staring at me. And that's why they're talking like the way that they are. And they'll tell me, like I've some in the market, they'll tell me, oh, your skin is so beautiful. And they stare, and then I'll smile and they'll smile back. And like yesterday, I went on the ferry over to the East Bank, because there's two banks, West Bank and East Bank. I'm staying on the West Bank. And there was a group of Egyptian ladies all waiting for the ferry. And one of the young, she said, wow. I said, yeah, wow. So she was saying, wow, about me, like just how beautiful. They love my skin. They love my hair. When I go to the market, it's the best thing when they see me. They're hugging me. They're helping me with my groceries. They're just like, that's what they're doing. So it's the most amazing, inviting, loving, caring, nurturing. Like I feel safe in Egypt, one girl. I feel very safe.
Wow, okay. Okay, that's really interesting. And I was just thinking about the Cleopatra situation. What is your thought
Yeah.
about that when it comes to people getting upset that they've casted a mixed race, a black and a white girl to
Yeah.
play that role because they believe she's too black for them?
Yeah. I can sort of see both sides as it relates to, can you imagine that, all of a sudden I'm an Egyptian, I've been born in Egypt, my skin's like, you'll say your skin color, one girl, and then all of a sudden people are trying to erase and say the Egyptians are not you, they're me. I mean, how would you feel about that? So I could sort of understand. And he said it wasn't about that. He said it's the narrative that the West tried to portray, like, and it's a divide and conquer kind of thing. It's like they're trying to say, oh, the Egyptians do not like black, so don't go there. So you got to watch for that. It's like there's a little divide and conquer going on in that narrative there. Don't go there, don't do this, don't go to Africa, you'll get malaria and you'll die, all those things. So you've got to really watch that. I saw Phil Scott, when he said about the shield. You got to watch that, the shield. Because, you know, they'll come with their little, under the disguise of I'm your friend, but they're really not your friend. And they're trying to steer you away from that. Because you see, let me tell you something, one girl, nobody doesn't discriminate based on your skin color here. If you got the money, you can do a transaction. Like there's several, let me say, blacks from different parts of the world who have come here and bought land. I've helped them to get land. They've bought land, and nobody is discriminated against them because they're black. It's like they get their land and they've got good deals on their land, and they're going to build. There's some of them coming this month and they're going to build. So what I like about Egypt, it's a lot easier to enter the country and to stay in the country and to buy land or to build or to buy a property. That's what I like about you. They make it easy. They invite you. They don't stop you at the border and say, oh, you're black, so you can't come in here. You can't do that. You got your $25 to pay for your visa and you're good to go.
So you were able to buy land in Egypt?
I was able to get people to buy land. I didn't buy any land myself.
How does it work for maybe people that might be interested? How does that work?
Okay, so if they wanted to come to Egypt, they want to buy land. If they were connected with me, I've got my contact who is reliable, trustworthy and honest. And he will say, because he knows a lot of people here. So he would know, I say, listen, such and such a land, you know, this person's interested in the land. So he'll know the owner. So he'll go to the owner, negotiate, you pay your money, you go to the lawyer, get your contract, you've got your land. That's it.
Okay, so you would say it's pretty easy. It's an easy process.
Yes.
Okay, somebody's asking if you're American or British. I guess they just joined. She explained to us from Britain first, right? And then moved to the US, lived in the US, and then now moved to Egypt. So that's the story. Okay. Yeah. So what were your culture shocks for you? Like you've been in the UK, you've been in the US. Like you know, in Egypt,
Good
what
question.
was your biggest culture shock?
Good question. I would say, can you still see me well? Because the lighting is getting a little darker now. You can see me okay?
It's darker, but I can still see you. If you don't have a lighting, there's not much.
I do. I can put on the light.
Okay, you can do that for us.
Yeah,
let them see you.
Yeah.
I see you finding Ian. You asked me to be my moderator. Right now, I'm not on my phone, so maybe later on I'll try to do that. Or if I forget next week.
Much better. Yeah.
Okay, good, great.
Yeah.
Yes, we can see you better. Tell us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, what was the other question now?
Culture shock.
Oh, culture shock. So the culture shock, the big first culture shock was from Britain to America. That was the first big culture shock for me. And because of the you can really get lost in America because it's so big and there's lots of things out there you can get yourself caught up into. So I'm glad I went when I was very young. I'm not very young, when I was at an age where I was a bit more mature. So because you can really get pulled into different directions and get lost in the shuffle. So that was a little different. The categories, you know, that you're African American, you're this, you're not that. All that was a little strange for me. The other thing I like is the other thing that the culture shock from. Well, let me tell you something. By going to India first, that sort of lessened the culture shock from me coming from the US to Africa, because it's very similar. They're just a little shade different bodies, a color, that's it. But it was, that helped me to integrate into Africa a lot easier. Otherwise, I would have been very culturally shocked as it relates to dealing with certain things. You know, sometimes there's no electricity, sometimes there's no water, all those kinds of things, the bathroom, the toilets and all that stuff. It's, you know, depending on where you are, because you see how I like to live with the community. So I don't live in this beautiful mansion or, you know, on a hill somewhere where everything's all perfect. No, I like to live in the village with the people. So in Ghana, I was living in the village with the people. And here too, I'm with the people. So everybody knows me. It's much better to live like that than rather than a diasporan enclave or an expat enclave, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, but I would think it would be easier for you to live like the diaspora because that's what you're used to, as in the supermarkets, the ones that will have more of the items that you're used to in the UK or US, you'll have it more in the upper class kind of neighborhoods and stuff. Like it was not a struggle like for you to adjust. I would assume. I'm born and raised in Africa, so I'll get
Mm.
used to anything. But for
Right,
you
right,
guys,
right.
when the diaspora come, they're a
Mm-hmm.
bit surprised, especially if it's not like if you take them upper class or like rich like neighborhoods and cities, they're very
Yeah,
very open because
yeah.
they'll get everything
Well,
they're used to. But
mm,
when you start living like the locals, it's definitely
yes.
a different kind of vibe.
It's right. Exactly. So let me just tell you, in America, I was living in a little village. I didn't know it had that. It was only over 2,000 people, and it was predominantly white. And so there was not many, of course, predominantly not white. You know what that means. But it was one of the best place I ever lived in America. The best place, one of the best place I've ever lived.
Why
And I
would
never
you?
had
Why do you think that is?
because I don't know. That's a question for another show. But it's
Okay.
like, it's like, it was the most amazing experience. Nobody ever discriminated against me, and nobody ever looked at me wrongly. Nobody ever shouted at me. Nobody ever gave me a dirty look. It was like I was there forever. Like I've always been there. I was a part of the fabric of Little Pauling, and it was fine. I had no issues there. As it relates to moving from here to there, what made it very easy for me, one girl, is that I live a very, very easy life in the primary practice of Raj Yoga meditation. We are vegetarians. So as it relates to certain foods and what I eat, it became very easy because I am actually vegan. So I have a plant-based diet, not that I'm vegan, that's another label. I have a plant-based diet. So it's the best thing that could happen for me being in Africa because I can get all the fresh fruits and vegetables I want. And I've actually never been better. And I think the healthcare is great. Whatever doctor whatever doctor I've gone to see, they've been on point. Health issues that I've had for many years have been resolved right here on the African continent. I've got glasses that I can actually see through. They got my eye measurement correct as it relates to not being able to see. So I've got the best of healthcare here in Africa. Every Tuesday I go to the market, I get my fresh fruits and vegetables, whatever little things I need. There's a little supermarket, little bits and things that I may need, I can get it. So it's not an issue for me.
Okay.
I have a better
Okay.
life as it relates to that.
But people that moved with you or like you met with, they didn't share with you like their experience being different than yours because you are not the norm. You know
No,
that.
I'm
Like you're
not.
the exception. You are
Mhm.
not. So like because I hear people talk about certain things and I'm like, that's why, by the way, you can ask my audience whenever I talk about like coming to Africa, I'm very like transparent. You will, because at the end of the day, you wouldn't want to shock someone. There is a difference between the Western world, let's say, and our continent, right? The way of like life, living, even the social life. Forget about the things that you're used to there and you don't find here. Even just the society, it's the way we move is different. Like
Yes.
our lifestyle is different, and for some people it's
Oh,
like,
yes.
whoa, like it's so different.
Mm.
But the thing that I have heard across the board, it being similar, is like the diaspora, African
Yes.
descent people, when they come, they tell me it's like there's a feeling I got as soon as I landed or as soon as I
Yes.
enter the city and I see like my people, everybody looking the same. It's just like an overwhelming feeling. Did you get that by any chance?
It was very surreal once I got to Ghana. Of course, that was the first place I entered. It was like, I'm in Africa, and I've still got that picture of me drinking my coconut on Oxford Street in Accra. And I was like, I can't believe I'm here. And it was the most wonderful feeling. Yes, it is a nice feeling to be here because if my mother and father were alive today, they would be so happy to see their daughter on the continent of Africa. So that makes me feel happy too, that they would have actually celebrated me being here. And I know if I said come, they would have been here too. So that's the only thing that I wish they could have experienced that, but it's okay. And
Yeah.
but I absolutely love Africa. Again, I was scared off by the narrative of thought I was going to die. By the way, I never got malaria. I never got sick. Nothing.
Glad glad that didn't happen. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you said I think your family are from Barbados. Am I wrong? Or did I Barbados?
My parents were born in Barbados. Yeah.
Okay. So that's one other thing that we tried to talk about so that we feel like we're all one as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Barbados, the Caribbean islands is,
Mhm, mhm.
is something that we also want to connect with. So how is it? Have you ever visited you personally Barbados, or it's just through your
Oh yeah,
parents?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. From little girl,
You have.
my mother took me. Oh yeah, my parents took me to Barbados. And
Okay.
I've also lived there for like almost a year at one point.
Okay.
Actually, that year was when I was trying to get to America and they wouldn't let me come.
Oh,
So I got
okay.
stuck in Barbados. So my mother sent me to Barbados to try to come to America and they refused me. So I stayed in Barbados for a year. And yeah, it's not easy to get to America. It's not
Okay.
easy. Even though
Yeah,
my
and
mother
even someone in the comment section was asking, "How do I get to America?" Even though that's not what we're trying to talk about.
said,
But
not
yeah, I hear
easy.
it's really hard.
Yes, yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So basically, so I've been, and then I was there a few years back because I was in a car accident in America, and so I hurt
Oh,
myself. So I went
sorry.
and stayed for a few months there in Barbados. But and I do actually have my passport. I have my Barbados citizenship because I got it by ancestry, through my parents. But otherwise, I
Okay.
would not be able to claim because people say, "Oh, where are you from?" Well, I'm not from Barbados. Barbadians don't accept me as being theirs unless I apply for a passport through my ancestry. I can't say I'm Barbadian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see,
Oh,
it's not that simple. People think it's like, oh, well, you're from Barbados. No, I'm not. Oh, you're Barbadian. No, I'm not. I can't claim that I'm from there unless I apply for citizenship.
but have you? You have, right? Or
Yeah, I
no?
did. Yeah, I did.
You did. So they have given you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Good. So how was Barbados for you? Your
Oh,
experience in
Barbados
Barbados?
it's so families there, so I have a lot of
Okay.
family there. So it's okay. It's how can I say? It's family. When I go there, I just go to see family and be with family. That's it, nothing else. So I don't go as a tourist or anything like that. So it's just to
Oh,
be with family. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
okay. Would love to visit Barbados
Should
someday.
go. You let me know. You'll
Yeah.
have a place to stay, one girl. So
Okay, good. Domji said by blood you are. I guess he means
yeah, that's yeah,
Barbados
by blood.
person.
I guess so. I mean, I guess so,
Yeah,
right?
you are. You are. Yeah, same thing. Patricia said something with Jamaica. I believe Patricia is also like her parents are from Jamaica. Patricia, did I
Oh,
get that
okay.
wrong? I think Patricia. I saw like a comment
Yeah.
saying
Oh, same thing with
Jamaica,
Jamaica. I didn't
but
know
I'm
that.
thinking,
Okay. Uh-huh, uh-huh.
okay, yeah, yeah,
Mm.
but that's really interesting. Like, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
um, Someone said, "See how confusing the Western system is."
Yeah, right. Thank you, Mr. Seed. I hope I said his name right, Siad. Very
Yeah.
confusing. See, this is a westernized mentality because I was looking at one of these vloggers, and she was saying about how this is not an African thing. It's by tribe and culture and stuff like that. There's no black. It's not an African thing. And so I found that very interesting. I said, it's a whole totally different way of seeing things. It's race is a social construct. And it's not a part of Africa. This is what she said.
I think if I let me say this. Does she
Mm.
mean by like for Africans that were born and raised here,
Yes,
they
Africans are born in
identify
Africa.
based on tribe, like I'm
Mhm.
from this tribe, and
Yes.
because we're predominantly black, like
Mm.
for those countries, for example, South Africans, they understand like their lifestyle, or they understand, I hear them say they understand the Americans more because they apartheid and they had to live with the people that,
Mm.
put them through what they put them through. But for
Yeah.
other African countries where they were colonized, but
Mm.
they didn't interact with white people that much, and they're just living their lives with
Yeah.
everyone being black around them. Of course, you don't see that. You
Yeah.
understand that you're different when
Mhm.
you travel and you get treated differently for
Right.
Africans that were born and raised here. So that's
Right.
also why I guess South Africans and Americans usually say they get each other. Like I hear
Yeah.
them say that, like they're
Right.
because the way they lived is different, as opposed to the other 50 plus
Yeah.
African countries, right? So
Yes.
yeah.
Mm. I did see a
uh,
question there. Someone said, because I talked about being in a predominantly white neighborhood, and she don't know why. They don't know why it was my favorite. I never said it was my favorite. I would
what did they
certainly.
say? Tell me, what
They
what
said,
did you
they
read?
said she lived in a predominantly white area, says it was the most amazing experience, and don't know why it was her favorite. It was not my favorite. I said it was it was a good experience for me. It's important to report on those things, one girl. Isn't that why I'm here? To speak
No,
about my experience
she's
about
here to
Egypt.
share her experience. You can. I told
Right.
you, comment section will tell you how they feel, so you also have to be mindful
Yes.
that
I've got thick skin though, don't
what
worry.
they do.
I
Yeah.
don't get emotional about
Okay,
what
good.
people.
Good.
Remember, as a TV host, I've been,
And
you know,
also you have
it's
your own YouTube channel. You
yeah,
probably know
yeah.
how.
So I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but
Yeah.
so
But explain to that person that thought that that's not what you meant. Correct?
yeah, I did already. Yeah, they would love you in Barbados, one girl. Oh my goodness.
Thank you. I know. I read that. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
so
They would love you in
nice.
Barbados. Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
somebody asked, does Sister Cicely speak Arabic?
Tell him I'm learning. Yes, I'm learning. Shukran. Thank you. I'm learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're teaching me little words and Arabia drive, Ya Arabia, let's go, a Jalabia dress.
Okay.
So I'm learning. Yes, I'm learning.
Okay. So Egyptian Arabic is different from, like, let's say the Middle East.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay.
It is
Okay.
different. Yeah, there are different phrases because, like, when even from region, like in Cairo, when they speak, I'm like, I don't really understand them as well as I do understand them here in Luxor.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like a different, like any other country, right? There's different
Yeah.
dialects from region to
Yeah.
region. Yes, Mia is the Prime Minister of Barbados.
Yeah.
Yes,
How do you feel about her, by the way? Because I love that woman so
and she's,
much.
she's very, very. Let me say, she's very honest, very vocal, and she's very
Articulate.
strong. And yeah, but actually, one of my family members was a prime minister in Barbados. Don't ask me the name right now, but I had a
Mhm.
family member that was a prime minister. That I know why I went into politics because it's in the
Really? Why
blood.
wouldn't you
Yeah,
tell us? Spill the
yeah.
tea.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
it's
was a
fine.
prime minister. I can't
Uh-huh.
think of the name right now, but one of the prime. And I didn't know until like a few years back. Like, really, that was my
Okay.
family. Now I know why I went into politics. You know,
Yeah,
one
it's
girl.
the friends
Sometimes
in
we
your
don't know
family.
why, right? We do
Why did you
things.
finally leave that path?
Why?
Yeah, or are you still interested? Maybe that's the question to ask.
Um, I'm too free spirited to be in politics
Mm-hmm.
because it's not a good place to be. And even yesterday, I was saying I was too strong-minded and to because what happens is that you become a puppet to whoever's supporting you. So whoever's behind you, you basically have to succumb to what they want from you, and that wouldn't work for Sicily because I'm a very, very strong-minded person. And so therefore, and I realized I said Sicily could never been a politician because I could never be a shill. I
Mm-hmm.
could never be that because I would advocate and work for the people of the community. So I was really more a community oriented person. I did a lot for the community in America where I lived. Yonkers, some people may have heard of that. It was one of the last places in America to be integrated. There was a lot of racism in Yonkers. And I was actually on the NAACP for the board and with the negotiation. There's a lot, Bongel. I don't want to talk because there's a lot that
Okay. I
Yes,
respect
as a
that.
part
It's
of the
fine.
negotiations to make
Mm.
things segregated in the city of Yonkers. I met with the lawyers. I went before the judge to make
Yeah.
sure that that part of America in Yonkers in New York was segregated. So there's a lot to me, Wongel. There really is. I mean, we
Okay.
could be
Okay.
here all
Um,
day.
okay, no, I respect that, honestly. I respect that, and it's fine. You open up however you
Yeah,
feel,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Somebody asked you, Rube asked, what is your favorite African country?
What is my favorite African country? I always think that that's not a good question. I'm not saying Hebrew is not a good question. Um, I don't mean it in a derogatory way. I don't want to say which one is my favorite.
Mm,
Wherever I am, I like to be happy, accepted. Like for Ramadan, Sicily decided to honor Ramadan, and I also did the fasting with them for the entire month. So wherever I am, I try to honor and respect what it is that each culture or tribe does in their country because I think it's the honorable thing to do.
okay.
Mm.
I respect that, but I
Yeah.
have another I have
Okay.
another question. Yeah, because I get it. You when you're talking about something, you don't want to put down something, like you don't want to make it seem like this is my favorite, so this is the best, right? Everything
Yes.
has its own different
Yeah.
um thing, that value that it brings.
Exactly. So everybody, each one has its assets, and so I just see the assets in each country, so not the negatives. But
Yeah.
I also went to Togo as well when I was in Ghana. I went over to Togo and spent a week there. So that was really. I knew that question was coming.
Yeah,
I
Shaba.
knew that question was coming. No, I am not a Muslim. But I love Islam. I love the true Muslims, who really practice Islam. I love the way that they practice it, and it's as similar as it relates to some of the things that I do in Raj Yoga meditation. So yes, I do like Islam, but I'm not a Muslim. I am not changing to anything but what I am.
Okay. Follow the money, then you'll get your answer. That's the politicians that you were talking about. Like, I don't want nobody to
Yes.
define me, and which is true.
No.
Politics is a dirty game, and even though
Yes.
we're seeing someone make the decisions, there's actually
They're
someone
not really
else
not making a decision. We've
coming
seen
up
that
with,
in
yeah.
Africa, right? One girl, we've seen that in Africa.
Yeah, in Africa, in
Yeah,
a more, I
right,
feel like
right.
Africa is more in an open way. Like, how do you say? Like, it's not that hidden. At least I'll give them this. The Western world, they're really good in covering it up. When there's corruption, it's like you think corruption only happens in Africa, or
Right, right.
the politicians are bad just in Africa. No, not
Yeah,
really.
yeah, yeah.
Honestly,
No, no, no.
like they
Exactly.
just know how to cover it up, right?
There
So
you go, one girl.
yeah, I
I
think
mean,
that's
I'm
the
going to be
difference.
truthful. I'm not delusional about what's going on out there. Believe you me, I'll be the first one
Yeah.
to speak about it because it's important. Just because I had a good time wherever I was, whether it be America or wherever, it doesn't mean that there are things that are not good. That's happening. There's some awful things
Yeah.
happening in,
Yeah.
in, in, in Europe and in America. Very, very bad things.
Yeah.
And they
Because
need to
of
be,
social media,
yeah.
yeah, we're able to see even like the gun violence. How we didn't I didn't. I can speak for myself.
Mm,
Like, it's insane how bad it is, and like, because they try to cover up their own mess and just exaggerate ours, we were able to, you know, see ourselves in the
yeah,
worst possible way, but see
right.
them as this white saviors, as this, like, they have it perfect. I want to go to America. I want to go to the UK, Canada, live
I
the
always
best life,
caution
but they don't
people.
show you.
I always
Yeah.
caution people about that, even though I didn't have a horrible, horrible experience. The racism was there,
Yeah.
but I didn't really experience it that much. So I'll be the first one to tell people, look, if you want to go to America, stay focused. I remember having this conversation with a Ghanaian with a Ghanaian, and he was saying about, oh, you go to America and this and that. I said, let me tell you something. With an African mind, If you go to America or Europe, you go with that African mind, and that African mind is an entrepreneurial mind. So don't go there and act like everybody else and follow the trend, because you'll get caught up in that. You go with that entrepreneurial mind. You go, you save your money, and you go back to America, go back to Africa, and you build and do. That's what you do with your money. But don't get trapped in that rat race. Do you see what I'm saying? So the African mind is the entrepreneurial mind, and this is one of the things I like about Africa, one girl, is that Africans are entrepreneurial. In the West, we're not. In America, in the West, we're not. We are taught to work. We're worker bees.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not.
No idea about being an
Why do
entrepreneur.
you say that? Mm-hmm.
Because I can say it because I've experienced it now.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get your experience. What
Okay.
reason behind you saying
Nobody
that is?
ever taught me to be an entrepreneur, one girl, but it's a part of life in Africa. To get along, to really succeed, you have to be an entrepreneur. You have to have your own business. There are all these jobs that they can just hand out like that. There's no welfare that could be handed out like
Welfare,
that.
we don't have. That's true.
Right. So therefore, you've got to get on with it, right? You've got to make your money somehow.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But in the Western in the Western America, you've got those hand-me-outs, those things to keep you subjected and objective.
To make people dependent on the government.
Exactly. In England too, they teach you how to be dependent. And then what's happened is now they're in this issue, whereas they don't have enough money to keep that up anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you, naturally aspirated Russian ally. What a name.
That's an interesting.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you, Seb. Yes. So now that we've been here for 56 minutes, I want you guys to ask her, our guest, Sicily, anything you want, respectfully. Ask your questions, and we'll give like a 5-minute, tops 10 minutes answer, and then we can end this. But yeah, feel free to ask her questions until they ask you the questions that they would like. Sicily, if there's anything that's on your heart, your mind, you want to say,
Yeah, I do want to share one thing that is one thing my experience, but it's another thing to see with my own eyes, other people's experience. And around Ramadan, there was a bus coming from, it was going back to Sudan.
Okay.
And it broke down. The bus broke down in the village where my friend is. There's a wonderful brother that I've connected here with that really has supported me with their family. They look out for me. They become like family to me here. And the whole village, everyone knows me, here in the village. So basically the bus broke down. And so it was during breakfast, during the time for eating after the whole day. And everybody in the whole village came out and took a family from that bus, took them to their house and fed them. So they didn't look at them and say, "Oh, they're black. We're not bringing them into our house," and stuff like that.
So these are Egyptians you're talking about, like the Arabic Egyptians. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they took them all in their home. They fed them, and they gave them because even one of the Sudanese, she was surprised to see me, and she looked at me and say, "Oh, you're here?" I'm like, "Yeah." She said, "I said,
she knows you, or she's just surprised because of your skin color?"
Yeah, she was surprised because of my skin color.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
She was surprised, and she was like, I said, "Yeah, I love it here. They really treat me very well." I said, "You see, they're feeding all of you." I said, "They're fine." So she's got to see another side of them, how they treated them and how they were treating me. So that I did want to share, that I've seen them in action. And also today, the brother here was telling me, because we call each other brothers and sisters, he said that there are now there's been busloads of Sudanese come into Egypt and they're housing them. They said they're not putting them in tents. I don't know why he said that to me.
Oh, wow.
He says they're not in tents, they're in houses. Because we saw a few, because I always can tell those that are a little different, even just if they're from another town, you can see the difference. And he says, "Oh, Sicily, there's a lot of them. They've come in from Sudan, and they've put them in houses. They're putting them and making sure that they're okay." So It's good. So it's you see, there's this. That's why I wanted to come and speak about this, because there are two sides to every story. There's two sides, and then there's the truth in the middle, right? And so we choose where we want to be, what we really want to understand, and where we want to be on the aisle, in the truth or in the falsehood, right?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing your experience. Of course, we
Yeah.
appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. Has a question. He says,
Uh-huh.
"Dear sister, did you go to Upper Egypt and see the Said people?"
The side people, no, I'd like to. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah, maybe you note that, you put it down
Yes, I
somewhere, and
will.
that's something. Maybe you said you have a YouTube channel, so maybe you can take, people are interested. That's what
I
I'm getting
know,
to.
no. I've been
People
to New,
want
of
to
course, I've
know,
been to
right?
Aswan. Yes,
Yeah, so
I've been to
you can be that person for people that are
One second.
interested to see, especially from the diaspora's point of view.
Yeah, definitely. I can do that. Thank you for telling me about that. No, I will make sure that I tell the brother, listen, you got to take me to see the Said people.
Yeah,
I've been to Aswan twice, where the Nubians
yeah.
are, and that was very lovely. Very, very lovely. They absolutely adore me. They adore me there. They said, oh, you're Nubian, Nubian.
um, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Yes, Nia saying, African American
Ah, thank
communities
you,
all over
Mia.
the map. Here, yeah,
Generational. I couldn't have said it any better than that. I
yeah.
don't want a DNA test. I'm not interested. Wherever I am, I am. That's where I'm supposed to be. I'm in Egypt. That's where I'm supposed to be. I don't need a DNA test to tell me I'm Egyptian. I don't need a DNA test to tell me I'm from Barbados. I don't need none of that. It's wherever you choose, wherever spirit guides you. So spirit guided me. Excuse me, my lips are a little dry. Spirit guided me to Egypt, and so this is where it's claimed me and I've claimed it. I'm happy here. It's a good choice. And I nearly didn't go to America because of the people scaring me about America. That was not good. People also tried to make me not come here to Egypt because the Egyptians are racist. And I almost didn't come here. And so you don't go by that. You go by what spirit guides you to do. And so that's how I live my life. And I have no problems
So
because
your
of it.
advice would be, Cicely, your advice would be for people that like want to see the world like me. Like I would like to see, all over the world. Like wherever I am allowed to go. Maybe not, certain parts of. No, I'm
Right.
not gonna say it. So like your advice would be go and see it for yourself. Is that like?
Absolutely. But you see, one girl, you got to trust your instincts. So that's what I typically go on, my instincts. So therefore, I have no trouble. I have no issues. Um, I basically, if something's telling me, because people say you're brave to be in a country that's Muslim, and you know how they are with the women and this and that, and it's like the men here are very nice to me. I don't have no problems. They're very courteous. Like the other day, I went to get my sugarcane juice, my gas up, and and the gentleman, he was dressed in his jalabia, his dress, and he very nicely, and he said to the person who was selling the sugarcane juice, he said, "No, you let the sister go first." And it just felt so nice, and that's how they are. And if they see me with the brother here and his family, they'll say, like when I was going to Cairo on the bus, and they was talking to the young brother that was with me, and they say, "Who is this?" He said, "This is my sister." "Your sister?" "Yes, this is my sister." And they say, "Are you teaching her Arabic?" And so they're like for me. They invite me
Okay.
to their weddings and their family events. They'll say, "Come for a cup of tea," and this and that. And so that's my experience, one girl. And
And
so
thank
if
you
you
for
want to come to
sharing.
Egypt, you come, one girl. If you want to come to Egypt, you got a
No,
place.
I would
You want to come to
definitely see, like I have
Barbados,
a
you got a
best
place.
friend that lives in Egypt, like a best friend,
Oh,
she's Ethiopian. But yeah, maybe one day I'll visit. She's Muslim though, like full on,
oh,
like
okay.
she wears everything. You only see her eyes, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe one day, like if she will have me, I'll come and
Mm.
see you guys.
Yes, I got
Yeah.
invited to Ethiopia today, so I
You
may go.
you got
Yes, Yeah,
Okay,
but it's
okay.
in Ethiopia. So I will be. I would hope I get to meet you. I'm coming to Kenya later on this year, so I'll let you know.
Really?
Yeah,
Let me know.
I'll
Let me
let you
know.
know when I'm coming. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
So
go into
let me see. I'm trying to see if you have questions because we're running out of time.
yes,
I would love it if you visit Zambia. We will. You will one day. Have you ever been?
yes. I'd love to come to Zambia,
Yeah,
Miko. I'd love
me
to.
too.
Yes, please.
Me too.
I heard Zambia is
Um,
lovely.
oh, somebody has a question for you. How Dom asked how to stay in Egypt long term instead of having to extend every 30 days.
How to stay in Egypt? Okay, so what you do is that you would get an apartment, and you would ask the owner to give you a lease. So you get your lease, so you have to go through a process as it relates to that, and then you can get your lease for 6 months or a year. You take that to the immigration office. They will go through the necessary procedure, and then you will end up. Let me see if I have it. I'm not going to show you everything, but you get a card like this, and you get your 6 months or a year stay, and that's
Mhm.
simple. They make
Okay,
things here very easy. There's no
that's good.
yes, it's very that's what I liked about being here. So I can stay as long as I want. I don't have no problem like you gotta leave or whatever. No, I'm
Yeah.
good.
No, I'm glad they make it easy because other African countries, some African countries,
Exactly.
it's very hard. And that's something like we really need to change because how can you be saying, come, diaspora, we're the same people. And then in the same breath, like you don't even facilitate the things that they
Mm,
need. It's just not fair. I
right,
don't think it's
exactly.
fair at
Look,
all.
Ghana's not easy.
Oh, yeah. I've heard.
So yeah, it's not easy. So I just do my 3 months and I leave because it's just too much. It's a lot.
Mm,
It's they don't make it easy at all. Like I said, some of the African countries, it's like it's very hard.
yeah. We need to work on
Mm.
that for sure, for sure.
Mhm.
Um, um, somebody Noel wants why do Egypt help Israel keep the Palestinians under apartheid lock-in condition? I mean, I don't know if Sicily is the right person to ask this, but if you have an answer for Noel,
Well, it was having a conversation about. I'm not going to talk about it, but that's interesting. There's actually a holiday here in Egypt today, and
hmm
if you look it up, I don't know. It has something to do with Israel and Egypt and some land. That's all I'm going to say. But look it up, and you'll see why they're
okay.
celebrating that today. Uh huh.
And don't forget, Sicily is living in Egypt. I mean, as much as we're saying everything is like it's we're talking about the good stuff in Africa, but at the same time, governments don't like it when you talk about them.
Right. So I think
Like
Dom
that's
asked.
honest truth.
No, they don't like you, no. So Dom said, "Can you keep renewing after that year?" Yes, they make it easy. There's no problem. You can stay as long as you want. It's not an issue here. It's very, very easy.
Okay. Let me see
Mm.
if there are other
You want to get me
questions
into
for
trouble.
you.
Someone said he
Um,
wants to get her into trouble, right? Want to kick me?
yeah, we're not trying to do that. Bruce said,
No.
just got in the live. Got in the live. Is the conflict between Egypt and Ethiopia over? Or still?
Oh
Yeah, it's
yeah,
still
that's
going on. It's still
yeah.
going on. Again, Cecilia, I don't think is the right person to ask this, but yes, it is. And
Yeah.
we'll cover it in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, let's see. Nubian or real Egyptians. That line was a blurred back in ancient times. No, but I was even like because Sicily was coming here, I was doing a little bit of a research and I was
Good.
seeing how like even the paintings, the drawings you'll find in their caves and in the pyramids and stuff, there are so many skin tones. You'll find
Yes, and
dark
the hair,
skin,
and the
medium,
hair.
blue. Yes, hair,
Right.
even hair,
Yes, the
wig,
hair.
and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
of
yeah.
them had a
Yeah.
distinction. Like there's a difference of how they dressed up.
Yes.
There was like a European looking, an Asian looking,
It's
brown, like the ones that
everyone
are
is
like yes, and then
yes, everyone is
so
put is
it seems like the history, at least what they're telling us, the scientists, it's
yeah.
they were blended, like dark, uh,
All
medium, brown,
different skin
white, like they
tones.
were
Yeah,
really
yeah,
blended.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I guess that's why even now people have an issue with when Egyptians are angry that black people are like playing those movies and stuff. There, if we're
I can,
saying it was a hub of everyone, why are you angry? And people keep telling me, remember they didn't get mad when Elizabeth, I think it's Elizabeth Taylor,
yeah, it was Elizabeth
old
Taylor.
woman, when she
And
was
you know
saying it,
that lawyer
they never
spoke
had an
about that.
issue. Why do they have an issue
Right.
with? You know, like I get
Exactly.
that. I
They
completely
said they
get
did
that.
not.
Like,
No, no,
it's
no. He
nice.
said the lawyer
Yeah.
said they did not like when Elizabeth Taylor played
Yeah, but we didn't
Cleopatra.
hear the uproar though, did we?
Right, but he
Did they
said back
sue
then
the
his
company?
right.
Did they
But he
sue?
was saying
Now
back
they're
then it
suing
wasn't like
Netflix.
how it is now because of all the social media and all that. Now it's different. This is what he said. I mean, those were his words.
Okay, but yeah. Okay. Okay. Um Let's
Oh,
see if you
dear.
have more questions.
What is the
But
question?
most of them I'm seeing is like a statement. Okay, one, we have a super chat. So Tai said, a simple reading of history and knowing who and what ethnicity still rule Egypt economic power since its conquering shows the racism there. I don't think Sicily is saying, you speak for yourself. Sicily, are you saying there's no racism, or are you saying I didn't face it?
There's
Just
racism
clarify
everywhere.
for Tai,
There
because
is racism everywhere in this entire world. There's racism everywhere it exists. People are going to be people. Human beings, it's going to be human beings. Human nature is human nature. We cannot change that. What we have to do is live our best life and don't let anyone else dictate what kind of life we live based on whether they like us or not. Do you see what I'm saying? I lived in America where it's extremely racist, but I didn't let them dictate to me how I must live my life. I did experience racism, but I also experienced, even African Americans saying I'm not African American. I experienced that as well. So it's like it doesn't stop, one girl. It's not just those who don't look like me that are racist again. Even those that look like me say I'm not them either. So where do you fit? What must I do?
okay. I get what you're trying to say, Cicely.
Right.
Yeah, I understand both sides, to be fair and to be honest, because that's your experience, and that's why I'm okay with talking about your experience. But there's,
Hmm.
as I said, like when this video started, I showed you what the young lady was facing,
Sure.
right? But one thing I completely agree with what you said. What is, you said like it shouldn't dictate like how they feel about me to change how my life should be. And that's something, that is why we're here on YouTube, trying to empower our people, trying to
Good.
expose the mistreatment, trying to talk about all the good things, that like the great things our people have done. It is
Mm,
important to talk
it
about
is,
both,
yes.
right?
Oh, I
Because
hope
at
you
the end
agree
of
that
the day,
I hope you know
to
that I
try to
agree
bury
with
your
that one, girl.
history, you're not going to help yourself, because now tomorrow you're going to be in the same position. We need to learn about our
Right.
history. We need to know who mistreated us. We need to know how we're seen. But at the same time, it doesn't define who we are. It doesn't define
Exactly.
where we should focus. Well, if
Exactly.
anything, it should fuel us to do better, to get up there and
Exactly.
say, let me show you what this person is going to do, the person that you're looking down on, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I
I'm
yeah.
with you on that 100%, Wonga. Why do you think I watch the African Diaspora channel? Because there's nothing that makes me more happier than to see that all of you are exposing everything and putting everything out there. It's important because people
Yeah.
need to wake up. It's time for waking up, one girl. Can't be
Yeah.
asleep anymore and
Yeah.
let these things just, like what Phil reported on what happened to that African American young man, or Black American, whatever, young man. What happened to him? It was horrific. I mean, they can go on African Diaspora channel and watch Phil's story, and I could saw how passionate Phil was. He was so hurt by it and so angry about what they did to this young man in this day and age. And then you're told to get over it. Why should I get over it?
Mm.
It's horrendous.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm with you on that 100%, one
Yeah.
girl. Yes, of course, everybody has its place to speak up and not be like, it's nice to see African leaders speak up. You have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the age of truth, the age of Aquarius, the age of truth. So the truth
Yeah.
has to come out. It's the only way that the world will change. No more
Yeah.
hiding behind the curtains. The curtain has to be open now.
Yep.
Everything has to be out there.
Yeah. And I truly believe that. And, honestly, if you, I've noticed, when you don't talk about it and you try to hide it, or you're like it's irrelevant and you don't give it a platform, I have seen other people uses it to brainwash your own people, to like the best example, like in recent years, that I have witnessed in my lifetime was the Ethiopia situation, when there was a conflict in Ethiopia, Are you here, Cicely? I feel like you're here.
Yeah, I'm here. I
Okay.
like I was frozen.
I thought you it like it kind of, I'm like, okay, I'm not talking to myself. Like
Uh,
they were telling the whole mainstream media and everybody, the politicians, like the European leaders, they were talking about how this is true and this is false when we know it to be like the opposite. You get what I mean? Like upside down world. Like that's what
yes,
they were trying to do. They were
yes,
trying to make the rebels these angels. They were trying to make the people that are fighting for themselves like the bad guys. They were trying to, and then when you see it live, how you not taking your narrative can literally destroy your own country, teaches you a lot and makes you understand, even though you don't want to be this negative person that always comes here and talks about like this happened and that happened. It is necessary. There are so many
mm,
millions of Africans that have no clue about how the politicians they put in power are the same politicians that are getting bribed by this person and that person, and they're working against them. We need to know. Like we have
uh,
everywhere, and then you decide. Though it's up to you to decide which way to go. So,
wow.
yeah, that is the reason why I'm okay with just talking about each side, every side, and talking about it because I think it's genuinely really important that we do that.
Yes, exactly. I'm seeing some of these questions. One girl, one was
Okay, okay. What are they
interesting.
saying? You can
One
answer.
said, this Shaka Y said this woman would be embraced as an anomaly everywhere, including in Eastern Europe. I'm not sure what he means by that. I know what anomaly means, but what does he mean by embraced as an anomaly everywhere, including in Eastern Europe? And then Mr. Siad said, can Sicily recommend a diaspora-friendly tour company for Egypt and the rooms? Yeah, sure. Tell them to get in touch with me. You get in touch with
Okay,
me through my channel.
I want to write. If you can comment, I would like it on the chat. Like you said, you have your phone. Just write your channel or like your Instagram,
Yeah.
wherever you think. Yeah, like the best way for you for the people to communicate
Yeah.
with you. Please let them know
Yeah.
because
In
I
fact, now
don't
we
have it
just
here.
and if anybody's interested and we're just able to get a boat, anyone's interested, they can come. We have a boat now. They can stay on the boat, and it's going
Oh,
to be a
nice.
restaurant and stuff like that. Yeah,
Oh,
beautiful
nice.
boat that
Yeah.
we have
Well,
there. Yes.
just write it for them and let them see. I'm
Yes.
naturally aspirated Russian. Nice. Thank you for the super chat. Said when
Good.
the okay, what is that? Hegemon is
Hegemon is gravitationally
hegemon.
bound by its own nature. This person is
Okay.
very and not outside. All humanity need do is push nature will do the rest. This
Okay, this
person's
is
very.
more your realm because
Yeah,
like
this
I
is
don't
more
get
my,
what is
like
being
I
said.
said,
Explain to
naturally
me.
a spirited. You need to reach out
Yeah,
to me. We can have a
spiritual stuff.
conversation.
Yeah. Okay, tell me if you understood the question.
Free spirit. Okay, right. A free spirit. I found Moscow racist. Feel you would be right at home. Oh, a free spirit. I found Moscow racist. Feel you would be right at home. I'd be right at home in Moscow with racists. I don't understand that
I
one.
don't. Okay, some things you see, like it's easier when you're communicating, but on chat, I
Yeah,
feel like some
yeah.
context,
So
you
Miko said,
know.
"How's the food there?" Well, I'm Miko. I cook my own food, and I don't eat out. But the food, as it the quality of the food is very good. So I can get my grapes with seeds in it, meaning it's organic and it's not GMO. So I'm happy about that. And so all the fruits and vegetables that I want are here, and it's very good. But the people who eat at restaurants, actually the restaurant we're going to have on the boat here is going to be a vegetarian restaurant. So and the food will be excellent. And so basically, you just got to watch where you're eating, and that goes for anywhere in the world because it's not, some people get sick because everywhere is not sanitary. So it's like anywhere in the world. The food is good, but you just gotta, how I keep myself safe is I cook my own food. So my food is good.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah, and natural, like anything that grew. Okay, not everything maybe, but most things that grow from the ground,
Yes.
are good for you and healthy, and especially if they don't put any of those nonsenses on them, just to grow them like faster or like
Oh,
the
it's
those
not
things.
allowed here. It's not allowed. Not allowed. That's
Yeah.
what they like to
Good.
tell me. And love, they say, it's not allowed, sister. It's not allowed. I said, okay. I love that. But one girl, as long as you
Yeah.
just go and you follow the rules of each country, you'll be fine. And so if it's not allowed, then don't do it. And as long as you don't do it, you'll just be okay. So, people like to complain, oh, they do this and they do that. And that's their business. It's their country, and they run the country however they want to run the country. And it's up, up to the people whether they want to accept it or not. So this is not my country, and I'm not here to, I don't know what they mean by pandering, but anyway.
You saw that?
It's okay. But it's
Ty is coming for us today.
The skin is thick. You can't cut through this. You can't cut through this. So anyway, it's not. You just we have a choice, one girl. You either accept it or just keep moving. And so it's Egypt works for me. It works very well for me, one girl.
And as long as it's working for you.
Yeah, and I've questioned it's important to question. Don't think I haven't questioned myself about it. I have. I said, why am I here? Like, why am I here? Sometimes I sit here and I take myself through the process. Great location. If I want to go to India, it's 5 hours. If I want to go to Ghana, it's 5-6 hours. If I want to go to America, it's 5-6 hours. My flights are inexpensive from here. Egypt Air's excellent airline. If I want to change my flight, it's inexpensive, no hassle. If I want to stay here for however long I want to stay here, I can. It's no hassle. So what is there not to like? So now I've got to make it work for me. That's all I've got to do is make it work for me.
And as I said, if it works for you, Sicily, no one can tell you otherwise. And I guess we're going to end it here because...
Thank you, Wongi.
I'm fun. I'm seeing now they're giving their own thoughts and comments.
It's okay. It's okay.
That's good, right? I'm like, okay.
It's healthy. I like the discourse, one girl. I like the discourse.
Yeah, but thank you so much, Sicily, honestly, for coming and like telling us, sharing your experience with us. And it's important that we all, are honest with.
It's important.
What we have gone through, and our experience. So I'm not mad at that.
Bruce, I'm going there. Tanzania. I'm going to Tanzania this year too, Bruce. That's the my plan to go to Tanzania as well.
It's beautiful.
So I'll tell you about my experience.
Tell us.
You've been what?
Zanzibar, the island, the coast.
Zanzibar, right? Yeah. I'm very intrigued about Africa. I'm.
Is it me?
Right.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
Yes.
I thought I lost you. You're saying?
I think we both went there.
Here it is. Everyone, Sicily. So that's her YouTube channel, right, Sicily?
Yeah.
So for people to, just go.
I'm so glad to have a chit chat with you, one girl. From the moment I saw you, I said, "Oh, I love her."
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I've always been there commenting on your videos and watching you on the African Diaspora channel with Phil and all the wonderful team that he has there, working very hard to get the message out there and to get the truth out there. Again, I've learned a lot from the channel myself, so I wish you all the best. And I've seen some of the new contributors that you have on there, and they're very full of life and getting lots of information that you never knew. And that's where I basically get a lot of my information from now, is from the YouTube. And it's helped me to transition into Africa in the way that I did by all of you YouTubers. So I want to thank you and all the rest of you for being helping me see the way forward into Africa.
Thank you so much for coming, and thank you, Kimberly. We're glad you enjoyed the conversation. And by the way, fam, I'll write in my community after we're done with this community tab what you want to talk about next week. So maybe we can invite someone and have the same kind of discussion. Just we'll have a chat in the comment section. But for now, thank you guys. For
thank you, Mongel,
staying with us. We really appreciate it. And Sicily, thank you for coming.
And all the best to you. Yeah, Mongel, all the best to you. You're a very lovely soul, wonderful, wonderful soul, Mongel. I'm glad to have this opportunity to be with you.
Thank you. Have a good night, morning, day, everyone, wherever you are. We'll see you next week.
Okay, take
Bye.
care.
Bye.